What's up you guys, Joseph here. In today's video I want to share with you guys a pretty cool way to make money on the side. Let's get started. So you guys know those shows like Storage Wars where they go to these storage facilities and bid on these abandoned storage units and find crazy items? I've seen people find like abandoned cars, pianos, that kind of thing. It was about 8 years ago. My dad and I thought that it would be pretty cool to try this out for ourselves. So here's the story of what happened. So at the time my dad and I didn't have any pickup trucks or box trucks or anything like that. So when we wanted to go to these storage facilities, we had to go rent a U-Haul truck. So that's exactly what we did. So we rented a pretty big U-Haul truck and headed to the storage facility. Now the way we found out exactly when and where these things were happening is we went online to Google and searched up storage facilities in our local area. And all you do is give them a call and ask them when their next auction is happening. And they're usually super friendly and tell you exactly when and where these things are taking place. So we found one pretty close to where we both live, and decided to go to that one. So we showed up to the storage facility, and you could tell that the people that go there were regulars. I think there was about 20 or 30 people there, and everybody was talking, mingling, and laughing and having a good time. So it was kind of obvious that they all knew each other, and my dad and I were the newbies. Now when we got there, I didn't know what to expect. Initially I thought it was going to be kind of like how we see in these TV shows where there's a guy with a microphone and a cowboy hat, and he's kind of like, okay, sold to this guy. But it was nothing like that. It was a lot more civil and controlled. So the way it worked was we got there, everybody registered, and the gentleman from the storage facility took us around to these storage units that were up for auction. So when we got to the units that were up for auction, the gentleman would cut the lock off the unit and then lift up the door. Now we weren't allowed to go inside these units, which I think is pretty fair because it kind of takes the unknown factor out of auctions and bidding and that kind of thing. So the guy opens the door and you're only allowed to peek in. And I think we had 2 or 3 minutes per group to peek into these units. So my dad and I looked in there and I saw an Xbox box, and my dad saw something else of value. So we kind of knew that this would be a good unit, or thought it would be a good unit. So we told each other, okay, we'll bid on this one and see exactly what we're able to find. So on the day we went, there was 3 units that were up for sale. And the gentleman went around and showed us all 3 of these units. After it was finished, the way it worked was we went back into the office and wrote down exactly how much we want to bid on each unit on a sheet of paper and handed it to the gentleman from the storage facility. So he looked at his clipboard or whatever he was using at the time, and he said, for example, unit 201, and then he'd read off who won the unit. So the way it went was, okay, unit 201, Simon and Joseph Marcus. We looked at each other and it was kind of a surreal moment. We're like, wow, this is our first time here. We actually won one of these units and we were super excited to open it up and see exactly what we found and sell these items and that kind of thing. But there was 3 units. So the first one went to us. The second one, he said, okay, unit 203. And he said, Simon and Joseph Marcus again. And we looked at each other, and you can tell the mood in the room kind of changed, because these people were regulars and they'd go there every week, and I'm sure they were friends and they talked and that kind of thing. And they're probably thinking, who are these 2 newbies that came in out of nowhere and are pulling these units out from under our feet? But it gets crazier. So he goes on to read the 3rd unit, and he says, Simon and Joseph Marcus again. At this point, we're freaking out. We're like, this is our first time here. We have no idea what we're doing. We just won 3 units. We were super pumped, and you could tell everybody in the room was kind of like, oh, okay, we'll see you guys next week. And they all left, and my dad and I pulled the U-Haul truck around to our first unit. So we get to the unit, open it up, and the first thing I do is run to that Xbox box. I open it up, and there's absolutely nothing inside of it. Now, I've heard stories that people say that the storage facility workers actually open these things up and take whatever they want that's of value before these things go for auction. Now I don't know if that's true or not. If you guys have experienced something like that, let me know in the comment section down below. I'd be curious to see exactly how your experience went with these auctions. But yeah, so I opened the Xbox box and there was absolutely nothing in there. And that was kind of the theme for that first unit. We'd open a box that was a designer box or something like that. We'd open it and there was absolutely nothing inside. And that was actually the theme for all 3 of the units. We found a ton of clothes that we just ended up donating to the Salvation Army. And I think the only thing of value that we actually found were a couple of records. I think we sold those for 20 or 30 bucks. So we spent, I think it was 500 or 600 bucks on all these units, plus the cost of the U-Haul truck, plus our time. And I think, yeah, we came out with maybe 50 or 60 bucks for those units. Now, I do think this is a very interesting way to make money, and I'd be curious to see exactly your experience doing this. I also do plan on doing this in the future. If you guys are interested in this kind of content, give this video a thumbs up and make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already. So that was my experience buying an abandoned auction unit. I think there is money to be made. Like I said, it'll just take consistency and experience to know exactly what you're looking for, how high to bid, because I do think that we way overbid for those units, and that's exactly why we won them. but I think that would come with experience and just kind of doing it week in and week out and kind of making a business out of it, and you would get the hang of it and be able to actually make a profit doing it. So yeah guys, that's exactly how my story went dealing with these abandoned storage units. If you guys are interested in doing this yourself, all you have to do is go on Google and search for local storage facilities around you, and give them a call and tell them you're interested in purchasing or being part of one of these auctions. Ask them exactly when and where the auction is to take place, and they're super friendly because they want to get rid of the space too to get new clients in. So they'll tell you exactly when and where. All you have to do is show up with a box truck or a pickup truck and some cash, and get ready to bid on a storage unit. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please consider doing so, as it would greatly support me. Also, if you guys haven't heard yet, my channel finally got monetized, and I'm planning on sharing all that analytics with you guys and telling you guys exactly how much the channel makes and all that fun information. So yeah, if you guys haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do and give this video a thumbs up. But I'll see you guys in the next video.